Instead of Stanhope College, what university should Supergirl have gone to instead? Kent State. Welcome to Lassoed Loot Volume 280. Let's face it, as comic book collectors, it's fun when you complete a goal that you set, a specific run or a series. And today, a run of adventure comics that I've been working on for quite some time comes to a completion. Thanks for joining me. Let's get this all Supergirl haul kicked off with 1969's Adventure Comics Volume 1, Issue 383. It has a great Curt, Swan, and Neal Adams cover that was taken from the first story written by Robert Kanigher called Please Stop My Funeral. Supergirl stops this invading UFO, and unknown to her, she's thrown into a negative world. This negative Earth is populated by negative duplicates of humans on Earth 1. And when a person on our Earth dies, his negative double on their world becomes positive, unseen by the negative people, and mourned by them as dead. This is how Supergirl is able to attend her own funeral. She also encounters Abraham Lincoln, Sir Isaac Newton, and Joan of Arc before a skyrocket's explosion throws her back into her own world. The second story is called Supergirl Day of Danger, written by E. Nelson Bridwell. And two scientists undertake an experiment with Supergirl, hoping to transfer her invulnerability to a student and wrestler, Tony Walston, for 24 hours. Well, they're successful, and Tony is invulnerable, but whatever blow is directed at him is then felt by Supergirl through a physical link. Advancing 1 year to 1970, it's issue 388 with Curt, Swan, and Murphy Anderson doing cover duties. Kindergarten Criminal is the first story written by Leo Dorfman. So Lex Luthor is training his nephew, Val Colby, to be his secret weapon against Superman and Supergirl. Val ends up getting befriended by Linda Danvers. But when Val's powers are short-circuited out, Lex Luthor claims that he really never was his uncle. He's deliberately lying to him to try to steer the kid away from a life of crime. Of course, Val Colby hadn't been seen post-crisis, I believe, but around this early Bronze Age era was seen often in different Superman family-related stories. The second one, Romance Machine, written by Cary Bates, finds Brainiac making a robot and sending it to Stanhope College, where it romances Linda Danvers and then rejects her. So Linda's solution is to get the robot interested in Supergirl and then reject the robot back, but that kind of backfires in her direction as well. Next up, to fill in this run that I needed of Adventure Comics starring Supergirl, is issue number 392. This was released also in 1970, also Curt, Swan, and Murphy Anderson. The Super Cheat is the first story, where Supergirl stumbles onto a plot to stop any American from winning the medal at an international athletic competition. So she competes as Supergirl to represent the USA. It was written by Cary Bates. Leo Dorfman is back to write the second story, which the cover comes from. It's called Supergirl's Lost Costume. And this TV producer comes to Stanhope College trying to film a documentary to find out which student might really be Supergirl. So he's got a lot of these gimmicks set up that Linda has to stay a step ahead of to protect her secret identity. You might remember that I showed in Comic Book Editions Volume 254 a huge run of adventure comics that I needed. These are the final issues, so now I can complete my run of Supergirl as a headliner in Adventure Comics. Here's issue 396, also 1970, also Curt, Swan, and Murphy Anderson. I Am a Witch, written by Robert Kanigher, is the first story, where Supergirl tries to dismiss any superstitions on a Friday the 13th, but everything goes pretty wrong for her. She ends up finding out that this anti-mass destruction powder was sprinkled on her, which is resulting in all of the problems and errors that she's encountered. The cover story, Mystery of the Super Orphan, was actually kind of a sad story. I liked it, but it was sad, written by Cary Bates. Supergirl wakes up at an orphanage with very fuzzy memories, so she tries to investigate her past. And then another Supergirl arrives. Well, it turns out the first Supergirl was a robot that was programmed with a defective Superboy memory tape. It was good reading, though. I have, now that I'm about to complete all of the headlining comic books with Supergirl from Adventure Comics, I have all of Supergirl's headliners in Adventure Comics. I have her entire Volume 1 run. And then I have Superman Family, which Volume 1 merged into. And then I have all of Supergirl Volume 2 as well. So good chunk of my Supergirl collection is being completed in today's video. We're at 1971 and we jump up to issue 411 now. Bob Oksner is doing the cover. Supergirl Alien Among Us was written by John Albano, where Supergirl saves this alien. She's in San Francisco at this time living, but he escapes into the city, and while Supergirl's looking for him, and there's panic on the street because word's gotten out about this alien, the alien ends up getting befriended by this child who feeds him and is kind to him. The child's father traps him and the alien ends up getting shot and killed. Also included in this issue is a reprint of Adventure Comics 337 with a Legion of Superheroes story that was originally published in 1965. And then a reprint as well of Star Spangled War Stories issue 18, originally printed in 1954. Supergirl 418 is up next. Bob Oksner sticking on the cover duties once again. We're at 1972. The Face of the Dragon was written by Len Wein, and the interior art is my favorite artist, Jose Delbo. Huge Jose Delbo fan. So Lex Luthor's sister, Nasty Luthor, has hired this private detective who hopes that he can prove that Linda is Supergirl and also end up framing her for an attempted murder of the mayor of Chinatown. This comic book also includes a reprint of Phantom Stranger issue number 2 from 1952. It includes a Dr. Mid-Nite story called The Sight Stealers. That was an unfinished but not inked 1948 story that they ended up finishing for this 1972 publication. But what really excites me about this issue is the Black Canary story written by Denny O'Neil and illustrated by Alex Toth. So Black Canary is looking for a job and she finds one teaching martial arts to members of the Women's Resistance League, which is a feminist group. Later she sees the group being held at gunpoint by masked terrorists and she defeats the crooks easily, only to be blackjacked unconscious by one of her own students, which is Bertha. And she tells the group to shoot Black Canary to death. And then that's your cliffhanger. Lucky for me, I have the follow-up to this, which is in Adventure Comics issue 419, also 1972, also Bob Oksner cover. We'll get to the conclusion in a moment. The Thief Who Loved Supergirl is the main story, though. John Albano wrote that. So this thief disappears that Supergirl has caught. Then there's the tsunami that she's going to stop, but it's not there. And everyone thinks that Supergirl is going bonkers and losing her marbles. But what it is a previous crook that Supergirl had defeated had this massive crush on her. And this crook's current girlfriend is using her powers that she has to drive Supergirl crazy because she knows that her man still kind of has a thing going for Supergirl. There's a reprint of Phantom Stranger issue 3 from 1952. There's a Strange Adventures 1966 reprint of issue 191. And then we get the conclusion of this Black Canary story. So Bertha elects to use Black Canary as a hostage instead of killing her and has her bound and placed inside a van that they're driving to a point where they intend to intercept and free their leader, a prisoner being taken from one prison to another. Well, Black Canary revives and learns about Bertha's plan, finally breaking loose and defeating Bertha and their gang, and later she learns that the prisoner that Bertha was hoping to free was Catwoman. So how's that for an issue? So acquiring these 7 comic books now completes my entire Supergirl Volume 1 run. I talked Supergirl in the back issue of the week, which dropped yesterday morning, Action Comics 555. And if you watch that, you'll see something in the back issue of the week short that I've never done in any other back issue of the week short. You'll have to tune in to see exactly what that was. What broke the rule? What was just too good to resist? If you haven't checked out the short, check it out because it's on my channel right now. As for Adventure Comics, I've wrapped up, like I said, the Supergirl portion of it, but my goal is To get a few more adventure comics, I really want the 3-issue run that introduced Black Orchid in Adventure Comics. I think that came out in 1973, and it's Adventure Comics 428, 429, and 430. So someday I would like to add those 3 with Black Orchid into my collection. You'll have to stay tuned to see if I'm able to rope those in the future. I mentioned Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. We had a great show featuring Supergirl and Wonder Woman this past weekend. Bobby Delgado is scheduled to be with us this upcoming Sunday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 7:15 p.m. Central, the greatest DC comic show on YouTube here on my channel, and I hope that you can join us for that. JLA Avengers is finally back. We're kicking off a new season, we being John's Comics with Friends and myself. We have a live stream scheduled for my channel on Wednesday, the 15th. So join me for that with John. We'll be covering JLA issue 21 and Avengers issue 21, both from the Silver Age, and figure out who had a better issue 21. I know that JLA is a big key book, so tune in for that. Or if you're not able to hit the live stream, you can watch it on the Rewind. There is a JLA Avengers playlist already on, a folder for that already here on my channel. So that's what's coming up on the Magic Lasso channel. How are you going to celebrate Supergirl Day this Saturday? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you have this run or any issues in this run. I'm so excited to be able to complete it. It was my goal to have it done before the movie came out, so mission accomplished. Mischief managed, as the boy who had 7 would say. Thanks for making it to the end of today's video. If you're not subscribed, I hope you'll take this opportunity to do so. Algorithm loves it when you give the video a thumbs up, a heart, and a like, and I love reading those comments. You've been watching Lassoed Loot issue number 280, where great comic books get caught. I'll see you again soon.